Okay, and we are live. Thank you all for joining tonight. We are a little bit delayed due to tech issues on our side, but here we are presenting CanadianOwl and FreyasSpirit, their loser round 7, their first match. So yeah, I have Darkrid12 here co-comming. Unfortunately, we don't have a tracker tonight just because of everything that's going on. So yes, hopefully this works out well. I'm going to be tinkering around as we go, making sure the cropping and all that's right, because it's kind of thrown together. But hopefully we get to have a good race. Okay, and I've already quit myself out. Darkrid's going to be the gatekeeper here, so we will be underway shortly.
Alright, here we go. How are you today, Vinny?
I am fantastic. We're going to see this fun race. I've been actually part of commentating almost all of FreyasSpirit's races so far, so it's always interesting that I seem to be the one doing it yet again. So first off, what's the bet? Is it going to be space jump, high jump boots, ice beam? What do you think?
I think it's gonna be a dark seed. I'm thinking that this is a dark seed. We're gonna get space jump.
Space jump, okay. Oh, comm's a bit quiet. Okay, I'm gonna turn myself up a bit here and turn this up here. And
hello, how do I sound?
yeah, hopefully that works out better. Perfect, awesome. Awesome. Thank you for helping us there, Bressing.
Yo, Bress RNG, how's it going? Can't hear me at all, that's odd.
Okay, yeah, let's see. Turn you all the way up and maybe turn you up here.
Oh, and we have high jump boots.
Oh, there we go. Apparently you're just super quiet.
That's way better.
So just because I don't want to mess with the sound, I'm not listening to any sound, so hopefully it's all sounding great.
Oh yeah, trust me, I'm used to having to check the sound. Our starting item was high jump boots.
High jump boots, perfect.
Morph in the ceiling. Due to it being SMRAT, only morph can be here if high jump is there. And our first item is first ammo is missiles. Hell original.
Yeah, so we know their path they're gonna take. We'll see where the first divergent comes up. Usually it's the same for the first like 10 minutes or so, you'd think, until they get to like Red Tower, and that's when we see most of the route choices.
I think it usually occurs with that you get power bombs. Early power bombs can usually mean one thing. They're gonna go check Billy Mays, or they're gonna go meme route. And knowing Al, he's a big fan on his memes.
Okay. So Freya's going up to Billy Mays first, and it looks like CanadianOwl is just chasing right behind.
And due to this being a full rando, it is not a bad decision to get this check out of the way now.
Yeah, because who knows when you'll actually come back to this point, and if it's something vital like Varia, which we've seen, but it is double supers.
Double supers pretty good there. Oof. Canadian nearly falling there. Managing to catch the ledge with that wall jump.
It was totally intentional. What are you talking about?
He's pretty good. Could have totally been.
Yeah, both runners have done their fair share of matches and are both highly qualified to be at this point in this tournament. So, you know, every little mess up will just count as being an intentional for the audience drama.
Let's just not have any intentional deaths.
That calls back to one of Freya's matches against Junie, who took an unfortunate death against Freya in their match 3, and that pushed Freya ahead in that bracket. So even though the quality of players is up there, sometimes that does happen. And I see Asder trolling us in chat. Good to have you with us today, Asder.
qualified to be losers, huh, Azure? Is that how you view them? Just because they're in the losers round and you're not?
I mean, who knows? Maybe Asder will end up playing one of these in the final, since he's been waiting patiently for an opponent for a couple months now.
Fair. I mean, he already faced Owl, so what's to say he's not going to fight him again?
So, with the amount of power bombs they have, I'm surprised Freya's not even checking what the Climb Super's item is, just in case it's something like Gravity hidden behind there, because they do have the power bombs there. I understand Owl not taking it because he only has the one power bomb, but what situation would you derive from just making that early check to kind of like ease your mind?
With the amount of power bombs, really, you might as well check it. Because knowledge is power in for that location, because that's blocked by speed. And that can be anywhere, since it is full. And when are you going to come back up that way? Like, Freyas has already checked meme route and everything else, so the only reason they would come back here is to check that location.
Yeah, so we'll see. Well, at least both players decided to skip it. So if they do hurt one of them, if it does hurt one of them, it'll hurt both evenly. So kind of doesn't matter too much in this race aspect. But we'll see if it actually is something later on. Okay, and missiles at BT, so we don't get a BT fight, sadly.
Aw, man. Also, Azure, that was good. Why are knowledge bombs and logic? Gosh darn it.
Okay, Freya's deciding to skip out on those missiles, not really needing them early. How would your prioritizing of ammo go at the beginning, Dark? What would you say is a comfortable ammo set to get you through, say, the first couple of bosses?
Currently, I think an E-tank would be due before we can start thinking about ammo. But for me, typically I would go for at least 20 missiles, because I mean, somebody's going to make that early wreck ship play. You wouldn't have enough to topple Phantoon reliably.
So now here's a good divergence. Since CanadianOwl didn't pick up that second power bomb pack from meme route, Freya gets the early access to Gauntlet.
Well, he could find some power bombs down here, but he doesn't. Freyas is going to be able to figure out what's at the back of Gauntlet without having to check. And what's at the front as well. So it's 3 items, while Owl can only check 2.
Asder showing his disapproval for the front Gauntlet check. I am too inexperienced to make this call. Just it kind of seems like a big brain play that can go either way at this point, but maybe there's routing choices for the top end runners that would dictate otherwise.
What's your reasoning behind that, Asher? Because I would have imagined you taking this path immediately. Like, sure, you don't have any E, but both your skill and Freya's skill are about pretty close. So I'd imagine you both making the same choice here.
So Gauntlet ends up being just missiles in the... Oh, Freya. Freya's getting a little close. one.
Oh my god.
Oh my. Wow, cutting it super close to get rewarded with 2 other super missile packs.
It's not that bad. They're gonna have those 2 extra missile packs, but that's about it. Yeah, this would probably be a check I'd make after I've already looped. Like, if I, there's 2 super packs back here, you might as well check it when going down to some other brain if you still need ammo. I can imagine that, yeah. And we got power bombs as a reserve item.
And there was reserve in the back of the hidden wall check there in Rumpapeel, so just a little French vanilla item there.
Well, already got our first reserve. And a load of missiles. Looks like we've hit that comfy 20 missiles I mentioned.
Yeah, and Canadian Owl, feeling more comfortable with his missile count, kind of skips the one underneath the green bridge there, and he heads towards the Etagoons. I've seen this check happen in majority of races where the runners do get power bombs. Have you ever come across a seed where you don't get power bombs going towards green Bryn at the beginning and have to kind of skip out of it? Is the logic almost always giving you access to this check at the beginning of each race?
If I recall correctly, yes, because you can't get past the wall in Retro Bryn, or in Burnstar. You know what I mean, going towards the Terminator room. I completely forgot the room name.
Parlor.
If I recall correctly, you need, according to logic, I think it's blocked by power bombs or bombs. I'm not sure screw attack is also considered. Well, no, it's not, because you can't Alcatraz in this. So, you will always have power bombs coming up.
Okay.
Unless you get them down below.
Yeah. And super missiles at the top of the Etagoon shaft here, so plenty of ammo to start off with. So I think each runner is going to be super comfortable and not going out of their way for ammo. And Canadian Owl is the first one into Pink Brinstar. And from what I see from most races, this is really determinant of a player's route at this point, because depending on what goodies are usually hidden here in one of the 4 checks in Pink Bryn dictates their movement off of that. Is there anything that you really would want to see in Pink Bryn? What would be your perfect seed getting into Pink Brinstar? What would you find?
Perfect seed? I don't know about that one. It would just be back-to-back. Being able to make sure that you don't leave anything behind. So, Speed Booster. That'd be the one that I'd prefer. And either Wave or enough health to deal with the side hoppers for Wave Gate.
Okay, Canadian Owl seeing more supers at Mission Impossible, so really, really front-end loaded ammo, heavy seed. Okay, Canadian Owl going up for Wave Gate, gonna do the Wave Gate glitch. I know when I first started running this, I thought this was magic and voodoo. But all these runners are able to pull it off quite easily. And rewarded with Charge Beam.
Charge Beam? Was that a Wave Gate? Wow.
So with the amount of ammo that they have, 45 supers with a Charge Beam, would Canadian Owl even consider picking up any more ammo? At this point, he's done, right?
With just Charge Beam, I don't know, really. Sure, you can beat MB with just charge shots and supers, but that's if I recall correctly, 300 shots, and nobody wants to do that. So I'd say maybe he wants one more beam, plasma, spazer, even wave.
Yeah, would you take a gamble on getting those beams and skip out on most ammo packs, or would you just make sure that you're 100% safe?
I would opt to pick up more ammo, even though we do have fanfare on. Because more ammo means less charge shots.
And Veal, Owl is not actually running a timer, so I cannot grab his timer, unfortunately. So we're just going to be running off of Freya's time, and there was only a maybe 4-second stream delay on them, so Alright, we're going up here, and he's going reverse meme. And getting his other set of power bombs. Okay, Frey's doing the Wavegate glitch and grabbing their own charge beam. And Spring Ball. We've got Spring Ball behind the green pipe there. So let's get your Peepo SBs out. Okay, unfortunately my Discord's acting up here, so hopefully you guys can still hear me. Unfortunately we can't hear Dark. Freya's is also getting their Spring Ball. And let's see what's at Spazer location. We've got more super missiles, so that makes 50. Okay, and Freya's deciding to go up Red Tower. We'll see how that goes. Okay, we've got Screw Attack at Crade Missiles. So that's a nice little item there to actually help out with just small little movement tech. And Varia behind Alpha Power Bombs. That's a great pickup. Okay, and CanadianOwl going into fight Crade. Yeah, that definitely just reassures Freya's choice of going up top of Red Tower, getting that Varia suit. That's like a perfect case scenario. Oh, hello. My Discord died there, so good to have you back.
Welcome back.
So, as Asder's pointing out, it'll be interesting to see if CanadianOwl goes, actually goes pretty quick up and following. Like, he went down first, so he's behind on the Varia suit grab. But we'll see where he ends up going. If he goes straight back up and grabs the Varia and then has to backtrack his way back down to high jump location, or what his routing would be if he finds it a little bit later. Freya's is going to make that one-stop shot. What would you be doing in either case if you're both runners there, Dark? Give me a little insight.
I'm immediately on Owl's side right now. If only because of the reserves and E that Freya's has. I am not comfortable, even if I can do the CWJ, to fight Fantoon with no E.
Oh,
done it, mind
Freya
you,
missing
but-
out the CWJ and Grapple Beam on Owl's side, so he's actually making the logical choice and grabbing his Cross of the Mode.
Well, he can't logically cross the mode yet. He still needs high jump boost to get the grade.
That is true. I totally forgot about that because I just think that jump is standard, but I guess you got me there. And Freya's makes the CWJ on their second attempt, I should say, and Yeah, it makes it look easy.
It really is, Aster. Like,
oh, plasma! Ooh.
oh, okay, well, now I'm more so on Freya's side, because plasma beam really makes the difference here. Sure, you're low health, but plasma pierces shots. Oh, hi, X-ray.
There you go, and they're going to be on their way to the moat. So they're going to have the full microwave beam, intact for Fantoon, rather.
Thank you, Pressing. You pointed out I'm an idiot. First item was high jump.
Oh, see, there we go. So
this is why we use trackers.
Yes.
Which, our apologies for not having them this time. We ran into technical difficulties earlier, so we had to go with this layout.
No, you can just blame us. We just didn't catch it. Me and our combined still don't have the eyes of Bressing, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I do agree with the fact that Freya skipped the ammo pack there. For having 55, 10, and charge beam, I don't think there's any point to pick up any more ammo.
Yeah. Alright, CanadianOwl going down to check, this one off.
Biologic hell runs. Gonna go into Crumble Shaft, though. I'm not sure I can agree with this.
Oh, just a reserve tank hitting in that wall.
Alright, here we go. Oh, well, Freyas has various suit. What am I talking about? I'd be a little more inclined to fight Fantoon with Barya, even with whatever suit or whatever E I have. He doesn't hurt that much. Oh, right. Well, duh. Plasma was just picked up, so yeah, ammo really isn't a concern. Like, look at that fight. It's so easy. Ooh, Owl fighting missiles.
So unfortunately, the big plays of trying to make these hell runs aren't exactly paying out in his favor, giving Freya a little bit more wiggle room, so to speak.
Yeah, it's slowly making that distance that she's gaining. She's gained, rather. Oh, I saw that. Owl attempted to do a reverse ice. Just didn't get enough jump. It's not that easy if you don't have Ice Beam, though.
Yeah, I wasn't even sure that could be done without Ice Beam, and even with Ice Beam, I'm a bad enough player that I usually get a door transition and fail the mock ball out and just kind of roll into the wall nonchalantly.
I didn't think you had to place it right next to the gate to do that, but good call, Aster. Ooh, but it looks like Owl is heading back up.
And we appreciate all the knowledge bombs that Asder is giving us as we go along. It's really appreciated to have a really good runner kind of give us a secondary insight. Okay, CanadianOwl making their way up top red tower here. Ooh, and going to go check X-ray location first.
Grapple, this is a really good decision.
Okay, and Freya's making the daring jumps to get towards Wreck Ship E-Tank there, taking an intentional D-boost to make that room a little bit easier. And we've got even more missiles at X-Ray. And
missiles at X-Ray and a reserve at the E-Tank. I like that a little backwards.
So taking from perspective of either runner being we're at the 25-minute mark, in any perspective, would you be feeling behind, say, if you were Owl, not picking up Varia relatively quickly, or do you think each runner would be feeling pretty good about where they're at?
If I'm Owl, I'm going to feel a little behind the second I pick up that Varia suit. But at the same time, if my opponent went up, they don't have screw attack, they don't have grapples, but they probably went wreck ship, so it would mean I should I should be on my toes.
Fortunately enough, with the pickup of X-Ray and they will find Plasma, it'll give them a little bit time back in that Fantoon fight. Oh, he was about to run away from that Varia suit, but realizes how much of a goodie it is and goes and collects it. Nazar making a good point. Wreck ship isn't in logic for Freya's right now, so making the choice to full clear is an interesting one coming from just their item collection standpoint.
Yeah, but would you really want to come back to wreck ship without logical access? Or while you don't have logical access? And not having ice, gravity, or speed? I'd be a little more inclined to do this. Better to know what's here than to leave and miss out on stuff. Like, sure, Varia opens checks. This could be a Croc Z seed. You never know. But I would be a little more in favor for not full clearing wreck ship. If only because, for whatever reason in SMRAT, it feels like it's less likely to pay out.
Oh, Freya's clipping through that little platform enemy there.
Yeah, K going through those guys is terrible. If you have ice, it's a little easier to wall jump / jump on them, but it can still be very annoying. Oh yeah, they do have high jumps.
CanadianOwl just blasting through the ocean, not getting Plasma.
Well, with his E, I can't say I'd be too upset about missing that Plasma for now. He's probably gonna get that on the way out, though. And what is at our Sky Missile location?
Power bombs.
Just power bombs. At this point, no point in that.
Oh, there's our space jump.
Oh, okay. Space jump's making me more so liking this full clear, but it's still a full clear with Varia. Might feel like I've wasted my time. So I might have bailed after getting that space jump.
Yeah, I just would feel so bad if that's like the one C you get spurned on gravity location at, is something just being there and you have to make that trek all the way back. So I'm kind of one of those paranoid checkers that would just get it out of the way for the sake of getting it out of the way. Okay, so we know that an E-Tank is at Wreck Ship Reserve, so we will see if anything is at Gravity Location. And CanadianOwl beats up the Ghost, and it's just missiles over at Gravity. So yeah, the only thing of worth at Wreck Ship was Space Jump.
Yeah. And Owl having no trouble with Fantoon.
So this might be a close race if CanadianOwl opts out of doing gravity check. But right now, Freyas is holding a solid, 3-minute lead.
See, though, Aster, the reason why I would probably bail because of space jump is this check here. Criteria power bombs has been a little more, well, not a little more, due to the fact that we don't have, what's the suit restrictions. Suits could be in criteria. Well, yeah, that's but wave is a better pickup than I would expect. Yeah. What do you mean as your charge?
Okay, and Freya's going back down. Not taking a safety save at the ship or anything first.
Okay,
And
I thought you meant logical.
yeah, Owl making the play to leave wreck ship.
Who's gonna get plasma on the way out?
That's a pretty solid choice, as we've come to know. I think that'll even up this race, considering Owl has Kraid killed. So I think each runner is pretty much neck and neck.
Maybe not. Him not picking up space jump, he's gonna miss wave. Granted, charge plasma is already pretty good and 55 supers, but that's just that little extra damage that you could have had otherwise. But yeah, he's pulling a full Asder.
Okay, Freya's going to go check and be disappointed at the X-ray location. I'd give the edge to Owl right now. Owl, I think, is ahead by a little bit. I think it's pretty close to dead even.
See, Owl might be feeling a little worried about this, but he does have a little bit of plus side on Freyas. Granted, it's not going to be that much, but by them checking X-ray, it's going to give Owl a little bit more time to catch up. Like, we're already both in wreck ship right now, or Red Tower. Well, Owl will probably gain a little, what's the word? Headway on Freyas, due to already doing great though. So
you
can head straight to Norfair.
Right now, yeah, Owl's got a fair chunk of lead. But as Ezra's saying, it may be in the back of his mind that something is at wreck ship if he doesn't find what he's needing right away on his adventures in Norfair here.
Yeah, the logic reasoning. Well, how do you determine logical access? Do you go by what you came into the ability to do first, or do you go by just because it's in logic? What do you think, Aster? Or Vin, for that matter.
Oh, super missiles at Cathedral, so just passing those by. Yeah, I'm kind of struggling on how you worded that, Dark. To me, the path of what Owl seems to choose is the logical one. He got high jump first, went to Kraid, got grapple. That leads to wreck ship, which leads to lower Norfair after that, I guess. I guess it's a toss-up between, well, no, grabbing grapple, going up Red Tower, going to wreck ship, yes. Oh, speed booster here in Bubble Mountain. So, as far as I know, Owl kind of passing up on wreck ship is kind of a burn if you're a runner that is really good at reading the logic of a seed, I guess.
See, that's what I'm referring to, really, is the coming across what item first. Which logical pathway would you follow? Like, you have access to wreck ship, do you do that first? but you would have picked up Varia first if you went up. Do you follow that Varia pathway, or would you prefer to follow the grapple pathway?
Oh, when Freyas gets the quick kill.
That's a 2 for 2. No dance for you.
And power bombs and supers. Oh, Owl here getting pretty low on energy, dropping into that acid. But luckily enough, a health drop kind of keeps him out of danger. Croc may suck, but you always bet on Croc.
I mean, is Croc really a time waster? I've never really timed that out. I'd like, that's a lot of checks you'd be missing out on otherwise. What is that, 5 if I recall correctly? Probably wrong, I haven't played in a while.
Okay, and Freya's grabbing their grapple beam. But Owl heading towards Lower Norfair.
Well, the thing about Croc is more so you have charged plasma. That makes Croc pretty easy. So
Canadian Owl going for the 2 energy lava dive.
Oh dang, 2E?
Well, yeah,
Let's go.
2E tank lava dive. Let's see how it works out. And they make it look super easy.
You can check all 6 items, but you just can't get one of them.
So with gravity not being able to be down here, what's the best case scenario? Finding ice? Or finding nothing because they're making this play as like a really shortcut play, right? Like, what would be the best scenario? Finding ice or finding nothing?
It's really toss up. Like, Freyas looks like they're gonna go straight to Croc, while Owl's gonna book it to Ridley, which with low health is a worthwhile play, just very risky. If he finds ice, he might be tempted to do the Suitless Warfare? No, Suitless Meridia. But at the same time, it's risking Suitless Meridia, which can be extremely slow if you're not consistent at it.
Okay, so Canadian Owl opting out of checking the items at GT. It just checks what's behind GT.
Well, I didn't save, so it's a worthwhile check. Like, might as well check screw type gear to check anything.
And yeah, I agree, Shidrain, that Owl's probably going to check that on the way out, considering he bypassed it the first time at Bubble Mountain. I think those are a couple of glaring checks that not too many people would just choose to pass up.
Yeah, but usually you want to do that after Norfair. Or after LN. Because you're already going to be right there next to Wave, and they just come hand in hand.
Okay, and just some power bombs at the SMRAT missiles.
Now, that speed, though, do you know what that means? 2 locations could have, or well, 1 could have gravity.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, it could be the climb supers coming back to not them. Maybe our caster curse happened.
Yeah, I nearly said 2 because Waterway is annoying to logic out. Who remembers that, you know, Waterway requires that?
Okay, so Canadian Owl heading off to Wasteland, and we get a peek from Freya's. What's that speed location?
Let's see what we got. Waterway requires gravity. If I said speed, that's like duh, but
Okay,
Wait,
and
what did
just
you
missiles
do?
and super missiles at speed, so it's a no-go for our good fellow Gravity.
There's a way to do that without speed? Okay, you took a blue suit. Gotcha.
Okay, Freya's heading into wave location. We've got an E-Tank, our much-needed E-Tank. And some power bombs.
And Owl is taking out Ridley. Easy as pie.
Yeah, with that low of health, it wasn't even a bother. Players like me kind of cringe trying to go to Ridley with anything less than like 3 or 4 E-Tanks. But he picks up bombs for his troubles, and Freya spots the speed booster.
Finding that speed booster might make them want to go either straight to Lower Norfair or go check that one place they didn't do. Sorry, rush Lower Norfair and then go up and check Criteria's and bank on Criteria's Super's being a location that has your item. But it's really a toss-up. Who wants to bank on that location?
Okay, we got Freya's checking on Croc. And we will see if Asder's prediction is true that Gravity will be here.
At this rate, it's either there or at Criteria's Supers. So, yeah. Probably at Rock at this rate.
Okay, we got power bombs right behind Croc. And we will see what comes up further down. Freya's showing their disappointment of what was there. And we got some supers over at Firefleas on Owl's side.
Ooh, Freya's showing off some speed keep action.
Alright, so we've got missiles at the jail. And Freya's going to check what is behind this other power bomb location next to Croc. And it's another E-Tank. And gonna grab that very, very quickly.
That is the item you want to see in jail.
I 100% agree.
Nothing important.
If Owl found ice in Lower Norfair, he probably would have lost. Oh, there's Gravity behind Croc. Asder wins the prediction race.
Yes, higher item density for it to be there. But with Gravity being there, what does Owl do? Is he gonna bank on a suitless murder, or is he gonna look for that gravity suit?
Well, that's the thing when you're a runner like Owl, is suitless will probably cross their mind pretty quick if that hasn't already. But if they do go suitless Meridia, that kind of just throws a lot of time in Freya's corner that may end up just putting Freya in the lead after. And as they're making a fair point that suitless isn't a good idea without ice.
At the same time, know your sprint is, but doing it with the ice is very fast.
Oh, an owl sparking out of the speed room. Okay, with Freya's grabbing gravity and already halfway to Ridley, I almost think the ball's in their court unless CanadianOwl goes straight to Croc, and then it's pretty much an even race.
I think Owl should go to Croc. Like, at this rate. And he's doing it. There we go.
Okay, and finally gets the gate glitch to move on from that and heads towards Croc.
GGG is one of the most consistent tricks I know.
Okay, and I am kind of losing you on Discord. You're kind of cutting out pretty harshly. So maybe you wanted to reset Discord or something.
How's that?
Alright, we're sounding good. No robot voices right now.
Oh, thank God. I didn't know that was happening.
Okay, so CanadianOwl going to see the power bombs that they didn't want to see. And this is going to be really close coming out of the item finds. I think Owl is still a smidge ahead, just because of the lower Norfair escape that Freya has to go through, but if Freya's can get through Ridley quickly, this is probably going to be a pretty even race.
Yeah, at this point, he's going to find that gravity, and they're going to have to pick up their speed.
Oh, I was wondering what was going on, and Owl doesn't have space jump, so I was like, oh, they're going for grapple, I guess they forget they have space jump. Nope, they did not collect it.
Yeah, that's the thing with skipping up there. You're like, oh God, I have to check Croc because I skipped upper or wreck ship top.
Yeah, so that's probably going through Owl's mind, and luckily enough they will feel a little relieved after seeing the gravity item.
I know I would.
Oh, and there they are, grabbing gravity. So this is fairly close, because Freya's already out of Ridley.
Don't you normally get cosine rule on the way out, Asner? I've always heard people talking about that. It's usually better to do it after. Because if you have speed, you can get the charge on the way out. And then just spark up.
Okay, Canadian Owl at Croc Escape. Grabbing another.
Getting a free tank.
Skipping it. Deciding just to keep with the 4 E-tanks.
Oh.
Okay, so Canadian Owl heading to the pipe first. And so on Freya's timer, he cracks the pipe at 49:45. So we'll see actually how much Freya has to make up in the final leg of this rando scene.
And into Meridian we go.
Now, being in go mode, this is where Canadian Owl can really show their mechanics and just flying through Meridia here with no problem whatsoever.
Having space jump, but can still fly through it just as well. So there's not much that space jump that Freya says is going to make up over this, but already at a Norfair. Well, Owl was at...
And 50-59 for Freya's to crack the pipe. So Owl's got a solid minute and plus lead on Freya's, and that's I don't see too much of a way for Freya's to make that up.
Maybe one way. That's called death.
Barring the unspeakable.
But that's because I say death because of Shine Sparking. And against Dragon when she's low health. Because chain damage.
Yeah, I've seen some crazy stuff with chain damage. I didn't even think of that being a thing until I saw some clips.
Yeah.
Okay, Canadian Owl heading into Dragon as Freya's at Batu. That is true, Esther. Taking away our fun, hoping to see some crazy chain damage, but I totally agree that the microwave is the more solid choice.
Oh, I completely forgot we had X-ray. That's a good point. Not gonna see chain damage.
Oh, but just to kind of prove a point there, he does an X Factor and a Shine Spark along with microwave. So a little bit of everything for all of us right there. Oh, and Freya's is caught up in Dragon's room as the Canadian Owl is still fighting.
No.
Oh, this is gonna be close now. Yeah, Owl definitely going for that blue suit, but gives Freya's the chance to catch up because of space jump. So here we go, neck and neck. Pretty much both runners leaving Dragon room like 10 seconds apart, maybe. It's 53:24 on Owl's side and 53:30, so 6 seconds apart. This is now a race. Wow. So Canadian Owl
down to MB movement.
Canadian Owl gets the Shine Spark, but Freya's is allowed to just space jump right through. So maybe a couple more seconds in Owl's favor, but not by much. Yeah, and now this is just straight movement till the end of the game, so this is going to be such a close finish. Yeah, I've been watching a lot of Freya's races, so I agree that Freya has some pretty strong movement, so I'm kind of in their camp right now to kind of pull out the victory. Oh, Owl messes a couple of jumps in the entry here, and we're almost neck and neck on screen transitions. Holy crow. Oh, Owl falls and Freya pulls ahead. I am so glad I was able to get this race restreamed.
Missing that jump really gonna do him in.
Yeah.
Perfect dippy and much better movement than Freya's, which it's already very, very.
Okay, so Freya's is going to be the first this ship, so I want to see how much time difference we have here. So Freya's is going to restock at the ship at 55:33. Yeah, it did seem like kind of a throw just for that blue suit. Owl, however, skipping the ship.
This is a hard decision not having ice.
Yeah.
You really don't want to take that chance.
So this is all Turian movement. Freya's making that solid blue suit through Parlor. They are really turning it on to keep this such a nail biter for us. Okay, so 56:20 and 56:23. So 3 seconds between the runners going into Turian. And that's the thing, is Freya has like these small little items that may help them with movement here. If Freya's goes for the baby skip, though I'm not 100% sure if they have that movement tech, but
I believe they do. Hydra wave? Yeah. That's all she really needs to do.
okay, Canadian Owl, the first one out of the first Metroid room. Freya's just gets that hit on that power bomb. That was pretty close. So only 2 seconds between the runners now. Yeah, definitely doesn't seem to be Freya's strong point with the Metroid rooms. However, just the general movement seems to be better on Freya's side, and they are synced going into that door transition. Who would have thought at the beginning of this race, 57 minutes in, and the runners are synced. And Freya's just a smidge ahead on this door transition. Man, this is going to be close.
And we're heading into.
So, Canadian Owl being super low health, not gonna go for a baby skip. Freya's being full health, possibly trying to baby skip. So this may be the factor here. Oh, and Freya's doesn't get the baby skip, so that puts Owl just that. Oh, okay.
Interesting start.
Yeah. So this is neck and neck, but Freya's is the first one out of the Metroid room. But like a second behind is Owl. so close and so hype.
Yeah, this is why I was really hyped to see this race.
Okay, so Freya's gonna try to do the speeds. Oh, this is gonna be down to speed zip. Freya misses it. Owl misses it, but Freya decides to go for the actual destruction of the Zebs. Oh, Owl messing up speed Zeb's skip again.
I would have skipped it right now. I see if chart.
Okay, and they get it. So
there we go.
They're not too far behind, but definitely the choice of having that lower ammo count. So the ship, not restocking at the ship, seems to be the deciding factor here. Unless the movement can be a little bit better on escape, but this looks like it's Freya's race to lose at this point. And Freya's already past the catch-up, so that's the hardest part done for Freya's. Oh, Owl can't really get hit anymore. I know they have the reserves, but this might be GG if he gets pegged by anything else.
Here we go.
Okay, and they are out. Okay, so there's Baby Metroid detaching for Freya's.
Okay, well, down to just fighting brain. Or, well, third phase. Poor baby, he's already... one's dead, the other's still on screen at least. Freya's make quick.
Yeah, MB3 down on Freya's side as Baby's just getting pelted on Owls. So this looks like GG's for Freya's at this point. Okay. Freya's getting that nice moonfall during escape. Okay. once Freya finished, I'll be able to grab an official SRL time. And it is 104.15. So that's a GG for Freyas. Though Canadian Owl not really that far behind.
Yeah, just getting up the climb right now.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna ask them if they want to come in and chat with us and have a little bit post-game interview.
I'd sure like to hear what the Owl has of his routing choice with Rex ship. Gonna be an interest.
Hello.
Hello, GG.
Welcome to GG.
GG. Hello.
So little did you know, going into Turian, you two were practically synced.
Wow, what happened?
Owl tried and failed speed skip a few extra times. Since they didn't restock at the ship, they didn't have the super count to just break through like they did. They didn't restock at the ship, they didn't have the super count to just... So it was, on our end, it was a very, very hype race, and I'm so glad we got it together to restream.
What beams did Owl have going into Torian?
Charge and Plasma.
Okay, so we had a so we definitely had a beam advantage there.
Yeah.
Which was worth like 20 seconds, 15-20 seconds. Which was
and you going down to Croc first changed a little bit things too, because Canadian Owl actually did lava dive without space or gravity to get into Lower Norfair first. So just the lay of everything and him having to go to Croc kind of put everything in your favor.
Yeah, we were actually considering doing a shipless Meridia, but we still needed ice to be able to do that. So we are strongly against doing gravity-less Lower Norfair and SMRAT. Lower Norfair and SMRAT. If we were already in go mode for shipless Meridia.
Yeah, did you have any thoughts about the seed on how you played it? Would you have done anything a little bit differently?
We missed Terminator. We realized that when we were at Raid Brinstar.
You never got Terminator. That's right.
Yeah, and the good thing is that we remembered this, so we were able to jump over it at the end.
Hello, Owl. GG.
Hello, Owl. GG.
Thank you.
So I was just telling Freyas, going into Turian, you two were synced.
Oh, no one was getting ice beam, by the way. Right sand pit.
But yeah, it was an amazing race to watch. I'm so glad we were able to get it together to restream you two. So what was your thoughts, Owl? What do you think in your mind you would have done a little bit differently?
I should have went back down after getting Varia. After getting Varia, I should have went back down Reg Tower.
Yeah, instead of making the play for Wreck Ship. The only thing you really missed in skipping out on the Wreck Ship that you did was Space Jump.
Okay.
And Space Jump led to wave at Criteria Power Bombs for Freyas. Other than that, not much.
We definitely thought about going down with Varia, but we'd almost always like to go up first. And we were super happy that we got CWJ as fast as we did.
Yeah, it was second try. I was really glad to see you pull it off relatively quickly. So Owl, one of the major things that kind of made the difference at the end of the seed was actually refilling at the ship. You didn't have the ammo count to do what Freyas did after missing the speed Zeb skip and just blast through the Zebs.
When you went for the blue
I think
suit.
I did, but I just wanted to do the Zeb skip.
Okay. Yeah, it looked like you had just enough to deal with the Zebs and gotta go.
Oh, and we're kind of having Dark cut in and out here. Yeah, it was great to watch. I am pretty glad I got to be a part of it because you guys were both making some pretty good moves. The lead switch kind of got evened up when Canadian Owl was really trying to get the blue suit off of Dragon because he was a good chunk ahead, and then just trying to grab that blue suit because he didn't have space jump like you did, Freya's kind of seemed to be the real charge point of making this a really close race.
Yeah, I knew I was going to have a hard time trying to get the microwave beam on Dragon, so I tried to spark her for a bit and then try to microwave, but then that failed.
Oh, okay. You just failed the microwave. Asder was pretty sure you cut it short intentionally to get the blue suit.
No, I was trying. I realized I was standing up, so I didn't really know when to stop.
Oh, okay. But yeah, no, it was amazing. Any thoughts on when you guys are going to get the next race going, or you have to
That's
just
right now, isn't it?
Okay, I wasn't sure. It wasn't on the schedule, so I can.
Yeah, I was gonna ask it.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if we were doing back to back or not. I'm down for another round.
Okay.
Okay. If we are gonna do back to back here, any final thoughts as I kind of just close this down and get everything kind of restarted?
No.
Okay. Freya's, how about yourself?
Oh, we figured that it was going to be really close. Like we figured that we were probably a few minutes. We thought that we were going to be a bit behind, and like as we got closer and closer to the end, we thought this might do it. But we wouldn't have been surprised if Owl had not done even when we were in parlor.
Yeah, that's fair. It ended up being like super close, and I'm super glad I got to see it. So I'm just gonna end this interview short. We're gonna cut the stream, get everything ready for round 2.
Okay.
All right, GG both of you, and we will see you in a bit.
See you in a bit.
See ya.
See you in a bit. GG.
Okay, everyone. I'm just gonna cut stream here. We're gonna do a little bit of refresh on our side. We will see you in a few minutes.